about the effects of scaring people, I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist threat. The university got shut down, I got arrested by the FBI, and now, I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day and look at the stuff. It's not going away. Think before you post.
Welcome back to Bill Vining Arena Senior Night for cheerleaders. Women's
Tiger Nation,
basketball,
tonight is
men's
senior
basketball.
night here
Our
at Ouachita, and we are now going to recognize our student athletes who have given so much of themselves to excel both in the classroom and in their sport. Each of the students you are about to meet are ambassadors for Ouachita Baptist University and outstanding examples of the servant leadership that defines the Ouachita experience. And now, please welcome the 2022 Ouachita Cheer Lady Tiger Basketball and Tiger Basketball Senior Class. We start with a senior from Benton, Arkansas for OBU Cheer, Sydney Nicole Donaldson. A senior communication sciences and disorders major with a double minor in education and sociology. Sydney is a 4-year member of the Ouachita cheerleading squad. She has been involved in the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association, the Ouachita Student Foundation, and she has served as a clinical practicum peer instructor. She is a refounding member of the Women of Gamma Phi, and she has been on both the dean's and president's lists. After graduation, she plans to attend graduate school for speech pathology. Sydney is escorted tonight by her parents, Megan and Scott Donaldson. Let's hear it for Sydney Donaldson. Our next senior from Wynne, Arkansas, Cannon Fisher. A nutrition and dietetics major with a minor in biology. Cannon is a 4-year member of the Ouachita cheerleading squad. During his time at Ouachita, he has been involved as a bow for the Women of Chi Delta, the president of the Student Dietetic Association, a member of OSF, and the American Chemical Society. Cannon also participated in the J.D. Patterson Summer Research Program. Cannon will be attending the OBU Dietetic Internship and obtaining his master's degree as a clinical registered dietitian nutritionist. Cannon is escorted tonight by his mother and father, Pamela and Kevin Fisher, his sister Campbell, and in spirit by his brother, Collier. That's Cannon Fisher, Tigers. Our next senior from Searcy, Arkansas, Kristen Holyfield. A biology major with a double minor in kinesiology and psychology, Kristen is a 4-year member of the Ouachita cheerleading squad and served this year as captain. She is also a member of the Ouachita track and cross-country teams, for which she has served as team captain for both. She is a member of the Women of EEE and the Ouachita Res Life staff. She was a Rho Sigma sweetheart, a member of OSF, and she has worked with the Elder Serve program. She has been recognized as a GAC Distinguished Scholar Athlete and a Mrs. Betty Oliver Award winner. After graduation, Kristen plans to attend UCA in pursuit of a doctorate in physical therapy. Kristen is escorted tonight by her parents, Sharon and Kenny Holyfield. Our next senior from El Dorado, Arkansas, Madison Jackson. A finance major with a minor in nutrition and dietetics, Madison is a 2-year member of the Ouachita cheerleading squad. Madison is escorted tonight by her parents, Jolie and Ryan Jackson. Y'all give it up for Madison Jackson. Our next cheer senior from Rison, Arkansas, J.L. Morrison. A communication sciences and disorders major with a minor in business administration. JL is a 4-year member of the Ouachita cheerleading squad. She has been involved in the Ouachita Student Foundation, Ouachita College Republicans, and she is a member of the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association. She was a Rho Sigma sweetheart, and she has been named to the Dean's List. JL is escorted tonight by her mother and father, Paige and Scott Morrison. Our final cheer senior from Little Rock, Ethan Wilkerson. A business administration major with an emphasis in entrepreneurship and marketing. Ethan is a 4-year member of the Ouachita cheerleading squad. She is a refounding member of the Women of Gamma Phi, a Rho Sigma sweetheart, and a member of College Republicans. She has been on both the Dean's and the President's lists, and she will graduate with honors. Ethan is escorted tonight by her parents, Lindsay and Chad Wilkerson. Those are your Tiger Cheer, class of 2022. Give them a hand one more time. Let's give them a hand one more time.
Introduction there of the cheer seniors, and of course we've got the men's and women's basketball players still to come. Dr. Casey Model on PA. They're going to introduce the
and now we turn to the seniors for Lady Tiger basketball.
I believe they're trying to make sure they're in the right spot. And then also the men's seniors as well, Davion Bankston and Lawrence Nero, 2 guys who have made significant impacts on the men's basketball team the last several years. And Nero had a really good game a couple of nights ago. Again, we'll turn it back over to Dr. Casey Model in just a moment as we get ready to introduce the women's basketball players. The senior cheerleaders have just been introduced a moment ago.
All right, let's meet our Lady Tiger seniors. We start with manager Kylie Joe Kilgore, a kinesiology teaching emphasis major from Yellville, Arkansas. Kylie will graduate in fall of 2022, after which she plans to teach health and physical education and coach women's basketball. Kylie Joe has treasured being a part of a team that has been a second family to her and made her feel loved and appreciated. Kylie Joe also thanks her family for always believing in her and pushing her to do her very best. Kylie Joe is escorted tonight by her mother, Candida Slechta. Y'all give it up for Kylie Joe Kilgore. Our next
Jacob
senior,
Street, one of our
forward
seniors,
number
along with
24,
Lawrence Nero.
Kaylin
Thank you a moment
Wright.
ago. Got that wrong. I was looking down.
Kaylin is a biology
on the
major
roster
and a
there.
psychology minor from Wiley, Texas. Following her graduation in fall of 2022, she plans to travel before attending graduate school in the Lone Star State. Kaylin wants to thank God for blessing her with the opportunity to play basketball at Ouachita and for his faithfulness to her and her family in this unprecedented time. She wants to thank Coach Dallimore for giving her the opportunity to play basketball and continue her education at a prestigious school where she can use her knowledge to help others. She thanks the fans and the boosters that have invested in Ouachita women's basketball, and finally her friends and family for supporting her throughout her college career. Kaylin is escorted tonight by her father, Roderick Wright. That's Kaylin Wright, Tiger Nation.
So Kaylin Wright introduced, and the parents got to walk back. Do this
Our
again
next
as
senior,
Lauren
a
Wright
guard,
set to
number
make her way
10,
out.
Jesse Bennett.
First.
A kinesiology leisure studies major with a minor in nutrition and dietetics from Leonard, Texas. Jessie plans to pursue a master's degree in mental health counseling after her graduation in May. Among her favorite memories at Ouachita is making friendships with her Lady Tiger teammates that will last a lifetime. Jessie is escorted tonight by her parents, Joe and Shanna Bennett. Let's hear it for Jessie Bennett, Tigers.
Had student assistant Callie Jo Kilgore and Jessie Bennett, and then also Lauren Wright. Now Kaylin Wright, the final senior for the women's basketball
And
team.
finally, senior forward number 30, Lauren Wright.
Lauren Wright this time.
Lauren is a biology major and a psychology minor from Wiley, Texas. She will graduate next fall, and she plans to travel before graduate school. Lauren would like to thank God for blessing her with the opportunity to play basketball as a Ouachita Tiger. She wants to thank her parents for their continuous support, her coaching staff and teammates for believing and investing in her and helping her to become a woman of excellence. She wants to thank her friends and highlight the amazing fans here at Ouachita. Lauren says, "Go Tigers!" She is escorted tonight by her father, Roderick Wright. Put your paws together for Lauren Wright, Tiger Nation.
Going to get all the seniors out there for one final group picture before introducing the seniors on the men's side. So if you're tuned in for the Ouachita men's basketball game, we're actually still somewhat on schedule here, although they're going to put 20 minutes on the clock for warm-ups as well after the senior festivities. So somewhere probably close to 8 o'clock start time tonight for the men's game. Again, one final time on senior night here with one game to go in the regular season for the Ouachita Lady Tigers. Jessie Bennett, Kaylin Wright, Lauren Wright, and the student assistant Kylie Jo Kilgore. They will finish the 2021-22 regular season against Monticello Saturday afternoon. And now the men's basketball team from the other end of the court set to be introduced. Again, those two seniors, Jacob Street and Lawrence Nero. And Street had a great game on Tuesday. Ouachita having to play 3 games.
And now it's
in the
time
final
to
week
meet
of
the
season after
seniors
having a,
for Ouachita
game postponed
Tiger
against
basketball. We start with a senior guard, number 2, Lorenz Nero. A computer science major from Piercy, Arkansas, Lorenz plans to graduate in May and pursue a career in cybersecurity. Among his favorite memories at OBU is beating teammate Jacob Street in practically every contest they've ever had, and the cafeteria talks and laughs with his teammates. Lorenz is escorted tonight by his mother, Valerie Vinson, and his sister, Nisha Vinson. Let's hear it for Lorenz Nero!
was beating teammate Jacob Street in nearly every competition. We'll see if Jacob has the same memory, but maybe the other way around.
And our final senior of the evening, a guard, number 13, Jacob Street. A finance and business administration management double major from Nacogdoches, Texas. Jacob plans to pursue an MBA in Arkansas and work with a finance firm after he graduates in May. He is a member of the Men of Beta Beta, and among his favorite memories are the many projects he's worked on in the business school, the bus rides, the team meals, practices, and every part of the basketball experience that he will always cherish, including beating Lorenz-Nero in every competition they've ever had in their years together. Finally, he's grateful for meeting his girlfriend, Julia Shands. Jacob thanks Coach Nutt for the opportunity to play for him over the last 4 years, his family for being his biggest supporters throughout his athletic and academic career, and traveling thousands of miles to watch him play, especially his father, who has pushed him to pursue excellence in all that he does in life. Jacob is escorted tonight by his parents, Scott and Christine Street, his brother Nathan Street, his sister-in-law Casey Street, his sister Samantha Akers, his brother-in-law Caleb Akers, and his nephews Austin and Andrew Akers. Put your hands together for Jacob Street, Tiger Nation. Let's show our gratitude one last time for the 2022 senior class of Ouachita Cheer, Lady Tiger Basketball, and Tiger Basketball.
Second, see if Coach Dallimore is going to come over this way. I think he is. Yep. Coach Dallimore's coming over here now. So I imagine he will bring his seniors with him. I don't know. Yeah, Coach. Well, you got to get off the court. I think they're going to also get a team photo as well. So we'll see who comes over here with Coach Dallimore in just a moment as they take a team photo, and we'll do some interviews. The men's basketball team will be coming out in just a moment. The Southern Arkansas team is already out. So we're looking at probably a little bit after 8 o'clock start time. Coach Dallimore bringing his seniors over here with him. I wouldn't expect anything less. So, all right. Good. I always like my opportunity to speak to the players as well. Well, Coach, into the home regular season, one more game to go. How do you sum up what this year has been like? And I know that first we always want to give God the glory for what we get to do. I feel the same way on my side of things. Let's start there and let's take it from there.
I do want to give God the glory because I have awesome young ladies. First of all, they got to put up with me, and I'm a pain. And there's no question about that. But I love them. I'm tough on them. They're all going to be successful in life. All three. Jesse and Lauren and Kaylin, they play, and KJ has been – she might have got back up to #1 manager in the country.
Okay.
She had dropped down a little bit to #2 in the country last year. She had a couple of mishaps on the clock, but I think she kind of got her status back. But these are wonderful young women. They're going to be very successful in life, and whatever they do, they always have a smile on their face. It's fun when they come into the gym. I am tough on them. Because I want them to be women of excellence, and they're going to be. They're already there. They're months away from being real-world women.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. And I'm excited that I had an opportunity to coach them. So I'm going to let them, if you can talk to them briefly. And so they can tell their fans that are at home.
Yeah. Coach, I want to say this too so you hear me. This is my 6th year doing this, and, of course, I've got a full schedule of a lot of things, but my biggest regret is not getting to do the road games. I wish I could be with the team all year long. We'll get to that point at some point, hopefully, so I could talk to the players a little more often and not just the last game of the year. But, Jesse, if I remember right, did you start out as a cross-country athlete here?
I did basketball and cross-country.
Basketball and cross-country,
yes,
and so you're finishing your career here as a basketball player. What is your major? Kinesiology. So what are you hoping to do beyond basketball and beyond your time at Ouachita?
Hope to go to grad school and get my master's.
Okay, all right. Well, tell us what it's been like to be a part of this team. And, you as a senior, we've talked a lot about the young players this year. There's a bright future for Ouachita. What's it been like for you to get the team to this point?
Yeah, I'm just so lucky to play with all the people here. We're all God-fearing women, and we just want to use the gifts that God gave us to glorify Him on the court. So I'm really just blessed to play with all of them. I'm proud to call them my teammates, and I know they're going to do great things next year.
Well, let me just say, you're smart to give up cross country and play basketball, because that running business just for no reason, I don't get that. I'd rather have a basketball in my hand. Congratulations on a great career. It's been fun watching you play. I guess who's going to go next here?
Thank you.
You know, I still have to look down at my roster all the time to get the numbers right here. Kaylin's going to join us. And Kaylin, you and your sister transferring in from Connors State a couple of years ago, and you had that, that junior college experience. You come play at Ouachita. Tell me a little bit about the difference of joining this Ouachita team and playing at Bill Vining Arena. You got the college right across the street. When they come to town, the atmosphere, and just give us a little bit of a feel of what it's been like being a Ouachita Lady Tiger.
Honestly, it's been a great experience. Obviously, the fan base here is tremendous. I honestly couldn't.
They want you to move the microphone closer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. You're good.
Yeah, but it's been tremendous experience. Obviously, it's very intense. All the practices are intense. Like, we always get after it and practice, and it's just been overall a great experience.
What is your major?
I'm majoring in biology.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah.
So she's smart. Okay. What are you going to do with that degree someday?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm just keeping my options open.
Okay.
I'm just seeing what God has in store for me.
Did you and your sister do anything special for Tuesday, 2 Tuesday, a couple days ago? Anything fancy for that?
No, just homework.
No? Y'all should have done something like dressed up in the tutus or whatever like everybody was doing. Just tell me one final time about your career at Ouachita and being able to play with this team this year and kind of what you're thinking right now.
It's been just a great experience overall. I mean, I love the team. Like, we all work hard. We always put in work, and the coach here is great. He always pushes us to be women of excellence, and I honestly couldn't be on a better team than this.
Yep. All right. Well, congratulations on a good career. I'm glad you landed at Ouachita. And Lauren?
Oh, can I shout my mom out and my sister?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I
want to
shout out my mom and my sister Nia and my grandma Nana.
Okay, all right, well,
Nana
good.
Betty.
Hey, hello to Nana. Yeah, I like that.
She's out there watching. She always supports our games.
Great, awesome. I like to hear that as well. All right, Lauren.
All right.
Probably could have just, it's kind of, I thought it was funny that your dad walked back. They should have just brought y'all out at the same time for senior night, but you got your own moment. You got your own moment there. You are two different people. So,
yeah.
Lauren, I want to start with what it's been like to play basketball with your sister all these years. I mean, what a cool experience. Not everybody gets that. And talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm just blessed. I know a lot of people don't get that opportunity to play with their sister, and overall it's been a great experience. I mean, obviously we still fight a little bit, but that's for the best.
Was it a package deal with Coach Dallimore? Did you tell him, hey, we're coming together? We're going to Ouachita together? Is that how that worked? Yeah. Yeah. Remind me, I've lost track of the last 3 years. Were they two of the players you brought in? They were here right before you. Last year, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah. So what's it like, basically being recruited by a guy who's ready to rebuild a program and knowing that you're kind of a part of that?
Man, it's just awesome. I mean, from the jump, he just believed in me. And to have somebody, like, trust in you and invest in you is just, I mean, it's just supportive. I mean, only good can come from it.
And what is your major?
I'm also, as surprisingly, a biology
Okay,
major.
okay, all right. Do you have any ideas what you might want to do there?
Well, right now I'm just trusting in God and His plan for me. And I'm looking at physical therapy, and I know I want to go to grad school, but I'm going to take a vacation before that.
There we go. Okay, well, obviously y'all are going to be very successful. Congratulations on a good career.
Yeah, and I also wanted to shout out my mom and my Nana and my sister there at home.
All right.
I know they wish they could be here, and I know they're watching.
Yep. All right. Wiley, Texas, is that right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I almost took a job there once, but I'm glad I'm still here with y'all. So, all right. Congratulations. All right.
Thank you.
And Kylie Jo Kilgore. So we were tracking. Apparently, we were tracking two things this year. if Aspen Thornton could be the nation's leading scorer and if you could be the nation's leading manager, I guess. So
Yes.
I guess that's what Coach Dallimore was tracking. Take us through your time at Ouachita and what it means to be a part of this Ouachita Lady Tiger basketball program.
So this is my 4th year here.
Yeah.
I've been through it all. Been through a coach change, got Coach D after my freshman year.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just been a crazy ride because I've been thought of not as just a manager, kind of. I've been thought of as part of the team, actually, and not just an outside person that's washing the laundry
Sure.
and getting all this stuff out for practices. All the girls have accepted me and become best friends with me and acted like I'm just as much as a part of the team as they have been. So it's just been a crazy ride.
Awesome. Did I hear you want to be a coach? Is that what I heard?
Yes,
okay,
I
so
do.
you've got it here at Ouachita, great opportunity, as you said, to learn under 2 coaches, and now you've had this experience. And what do you think you're going to be doing next? Where will it take you?
Well, I still have 1 semester, so I'll graduate in the fall.
Okay.
And then hopefully I'll find a position somewhere to where I can teach PE and health, and then hopefully eventually become a head women's basketball coach at high
Awesome.
school. So.
Yeah. So can you think of one funny moment you could share here on the broadcast from your time with Ouachita? Any good stories you got for us?
One funny moment.
That might be too tough of a question.
I'll tell a story about how I got taken down from being #1 manager.
Uh-oh,
So
okay.
I had always been #1, and then there was one practice where I was running the clock, and we did this drill, and he was having them show what it was going to be before actually doing it, but I started the clock when they were just showing what it was going to be. So when they went to actually do it, I didn't restart the clock in time for them to actually do the drill.
Right.
So then he had just got done bragging to me because we had recruits here, and he had just got done bragging about me, and then I messed up and I did that.
Happens that way every
Yep.
time, doesn't it? Yeah, that's why we can't brag on them too much. No, I'm just kidding. Well, congratulations on being a part of this great team. I'm glad that you've been such a part of it, and good luck to you in your future.
Thank you.
Okay. Coach Dallimore, one more time here. I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
I am very blessed that I got a chance to coach these 4 young ladies, and look forward to the future. And we've done some really good things this year.
Yep.
Got a long ways to go to get where we want to get, but I'm really excited about the future, and I appreciate that God has blessed me with this opportunity, and I appreciate all that you guys do for us, and y'all do a great job on the broadcast.
Well, looking forward to November, December already. So, Coach,
I'm looking forward to Saturday.
And Saturday, yes. Good luck Saturday on the road
Thanks,
at Monticello.
Michael.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Coach. All right. Okay, so that's going to do it for our coverage of the women's basketball 2021-22 season. In fact, they'll finish on the road on Saturday. I want to thank everyone who's been a part of our Ouachita Sports Network digital crew, and to all of our fans who have been watching the women's basketball games online. As we found out there, a lot of Kaylin and Lauren Wright's family listening in from Wiley, Texas, and other places. Of course, we know we have people from all over the place. And our OSDN crew as well. We got to talk to Chris McQuiston at halftime. We're going to talk to Matthew Branch at halftime of this men's game. AJ McWilliams, Bailey Redden, and Rachel Sansano. Thank you so much for all you have done to advance the Ouachita Sports Digital Network and take it to just new heights. I'm happy to be a part of it here with each of you, even though I don't get to talk to too many of you that often. So thanks to those in the class of 2022 as well. We're going to sign off for just a bit, and at least for the women's broadcast, our men's basketball stream is already up and running. We'll take a break for about 7 or 8 minutes, come back with the starting lineups and the tip-off for the men's basketball game on senior night here. You're watching coverage of Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Tonight, the home slate of the regular season comes to an end for the Ouachita Tigers here at Bill Vining Arena. After a road game on Saturday against Arkansas Monticello will conclude the 2021-2022 campaign for the Ouachita Tigers. Tonight, they welcome the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders. We're about 20 minutes past the normal start time tonight due to the senior night activities that took place between games, honoring 3 Ouachita women's basketball players and 2 from the men's side. Jacob Street and Lawrence Nero, the 2 seniors for the Ouachita men. It's Ouachita and Southern Arkansas from Bill Vining Arena on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University on a cold Thursday night. Michael Westbrook here courtside with you, but it's heating up inside the gym as the arena has come to life. The students off to my left standing, they're ready to get this game started. And we've even got students to our right as well. And look at the standings in the Great American Conference. Southeastern and Oklahoma Baptist currently in the tie for the number 1 spot. Southeastern gets the advantage. Northwestern, the 3 seed. Then it's Southern Nazarene. Henderson and Southern Arkansas tied for 5th. They are only 1 game back of 4th and only 2 games back of 3rd, with still 2 games to go. So it's a big game tonight for the Mule Riders. Meanwhile, Southwestern at 7, East Central at 8, and Ouachita is going to miss the conference tournament taking place next week at Fire Lake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Ouachita comes into the game 5-21, 3-17 in conference play. SAU is 16-10. They're 12-8 in Great American Conference action. Last time out for the Mule Riders, it was an 86-72 loss to Oklahoma Baptist, but they're 5-1 over their last 6 games as the Mule Riders are playing strong right now. For Ouachita, they had to take on East Central on Tuesday night, losing that game, and the trend continues to hold for Ouachita as they've lost 9 games by 6 points or less. It's been that kind of year for a banged-up Ouachita team, a team that lost one of its star players from the last couple of years early on in the campaign, that being Kendarius Smith, and now without Medarius Hobson over the last 6 games due to a hand injury. So Hobson, leading scorer at 15.8 a game, not playing. He was in street clothes earlier during the senior festivities. Tyler Haynes, the leading rebounder at 5.7 a game. You got to go up against Devontae Brooks, 17.7 a game and 11.2 rebounds a game. He is the star of the Mule Riders, and he has been for the last couple of years. Last time out, he had 25 and 13. Let's turn it over for just a moment here to the voice of the Bill Vining Arena, Dr. Casey Modal.
And now introducing the starting lineup.
As he introduces the starting lineups, we'll give you those here as well. For Southern Arkansas, I was thinking of the old days. We did 2 national anthems. We don't do that anymore. Number 23, Devontae Brooks, a 6'6", 200-pound senior forward from Shreveport, Louisiana. Number 3, Aaron Lucas, a 5'9", 165-pound senior point guard from Tulsa, Oklahoma, out of Booker T. Washington High School. Number 4, Blake Rogers, a 6'1", 200-pound junior guard from Starkville, Mississippi, from Jones College. Number 5, Jalen Brooks, 6'5", 165-pound junior from Shreveport, out of Woodlawn High School. And number 10, Tyler Garrett, a 6'1", 180-pound junior guard from Springdale, Arkansas, a transfer from Labette Community College. Head coach Andy Sharp, along with assistant coach Logan Quinn. Again, Southern Arkansas 16-10, and seeding implications on the line tonight for the Mule Riders as they prepare for next week's conference tournament. Starting lineup for the Ouachita Tigers. Number 12, Alex Scariello, the 6'3", redshirt freshman guard from Marbella, Spain, out of Manhattan College. Number 22, Davion Bankston, the 6'6", senior forward from Little Rock, transfer from Northern Oklahoma, Tonkawa. And at number 2, Lawrence Nero, one of the 2 seniors, 6'2" guard from Hot Springs, out of Labette Community College. Jacob Street, the 6'5" guard/forward, senior from Nacogdoches, Texas, out of Central Heights High School. And number 23, Tyler Haynes, the 6'5" guard/forward, sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, out of Walters State Community College. Again, for Ouachita and head coach Dennis Nutt and assistant coach Jordan Bailey. It's Street, Bankston, Nero, Scariolo, and Haynes. And for Southern Arkansas and head coach Andy Sharp, it's Brooks, Lucas, Rogers, Brooks, and Garrett. Yes, Devontae and Jalen brothers. Devontae and Jalen Brooks for Southern Arkansas. We are just about ready for tip. A couple of minutes before 8 o'clock. Thanks for being with us. Tyler Haynes will jump in the center circle. And for the Mule Riders, Devontae Brooks. Referee got hit on the opening jump, and the music still going there. They play the music all the way to the tip. All the way till that possession there, and so the Mule Riders end up with it. Several of these players for Southern Arkansas have made big impacts for the Mule Riders the last couple of years. There are a lot of veteran players out there for SAU. As the Mule Riders start in the blue uniforms, the gold trim, Washita on their home whites. A good move there to get around Bankston from Rogers, but he could not get the shot to fall. Devontae Brooks averaging 17 points a game. Washita's leading scorer who is playing is Tyler Haynes, averaging 12.2 a game. Again, they're without Hobson and Smith, who played in only 8 games this year. Street had a big game on Tuesday night against East Central, but Washita could not overcome the Tigers of Ada. Street throws the basketball away as he was looking to hit Bankston. Was not quite ready for that one. A turnover for the Washita Tigers. They last played each other on December the 11th. Last year, of course, during the COVID restriction season. They played each other 4 times as the teams traveled just within the state of Arkansas. A lob inside on the interior to Brooks, a double team. It was Haynes with a partial block. Maybe both players blocking that shot. 3 from Aaron Lucas, too strong. Haynes tips the ball into the air, and finally Bankston is able to retrieve it. Out on the right wing to Nero. Nero getting the start as a senior. And for Lawrence Nero, he has started 20 games this year. Just went through a stretch recently where he was not starting much. Bankston on the low block, rises up, tipped back by Haynes. It doesn't go. 2 looks there for Washita. They come up empty. And we're nearly 2 minutes in as Lucas sprints into the front court against Nero. 3 on its way. Off of the back heel there from Garrett. Scariolo comes up with the loose ball. Street over to Nero. He will shoot. Can't hit. Members of the student section shirtless over there. Something written across the front of their chest. I think Street for Jacob Street, the senior. Might have been a kick ball by Nero. They let him play through it. 15 on the shot clock. Reverse layup would not go for Jalen Brooks. And we are stuck at 0, 2.5 minutes in. Bankston curls off of the screen, dunks it home. Kind of set the screen, rolled off of it, and it's Davion Bankston with the game's first points. Down into the corner to Lucas, tries to shake Nero. Nero right there with him. Long possession developing, a lob inside to Brooks. Too high and out of bounds. Devontae Brooks, even at 6'6", could not come up with that one. Mule Riders turn it over. So when they played each other last time, it was all the way back in December the 11th in Magnolia. It was a 4-point contest, 71-67. Mule Riders with the victory. When they played each other at that point, Washita had not, well, they had won 1 game. They had beaten Ecclesia. They were 1-6. They played SAU very close. Haynes gets Brooks in the air, goes to the rim, and the layup is good for Tyler Haynes. A good move by Tyler Haynes to get Brooks jumping, and was able to go around him once Brooks went into the air. Up top, 3 on its way from Garrett, missed it short. And a scramble for the loose ball. Jalen Brooks is able to get it and put it back in. At the 16-10 mark, SAU is on the board. Washita leads 4-2, nearing the 16-minute mark of the first half. Street and Scariolo up top along with Nero. Now down to Bankston on the baseline, straightens up against Brooks, drives, jump stop, kicks it out high to Scariolo. Quick shot from Alex Scariolo, and he knocks home the three. Alex Scariolo, his 39th three-pointer this season. Excuse me, 21st three-point make. Now a drive down underneath by Garrett. He will kick it to the corner. Three is up and in from Blake Rogers, the junior transfer from Jones College. And it's 7-5 Ouachita early on, nearing 15 minutes in the first half. Haynes will set a screen for Nero. Bad pass. Brooks comes up with it. Brooks, can he hold on to the possession? He can, but he misses the layup. Now back the other way. Bankston and Haynes, 2-on-2. Haynes might have traveled. They don't call it. And the shot was missed. SAU wanted to travel, that's for sure. A quick three from Rogers misses. We got a foul underneath. Will bring us to the first media timeout. 14:49 to play. It is Ouachita 7, SAU 5. We're back in just a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Davion Bankston rising up, slamming it home off of the pass. 14:49 to play in the first. Ouachita 7, Southern Arkansas 5. Mule Riders have 3 points from Blake Rogers, 2 from Jalen Brooks. 2 points from Davion Bankston, 3 from Alex Scariolo, and 2 from Tyler Haynes. So the foul was against Nero, his first. And Southern Arkansas has Ty Archibald, the sophomore from Katy, Texas, transfer from Lamar State Port Arthur, on the floor for the first time. He'll run the point, top of the key, swings it left. Lucas fires, hits. Aaron Lucas connects from downtown. Lucas is the second leading scorer on the team at 13.8 a game. He's 34% from three-point range this year. Street works it right side over to Bankston. And Street, NBA range three, connects. Jacob Street connects from downtown, and his fan base has something to cheer about. 10-8, Ouachita. Lucas off of a screen, steps up, drops home another three. Aaron Lucas, the point guard from Tulsa, has 6 points, and again, he averages 13.8 a game. Street a little bit hesitant there to get the ball to Scariolo. Now he does, 15 to shoot. Works on Lucas, not there. Street, bounce pass, attempted to get it to Haynes, partially deflected, I think, and taken away. And here's Lucas again. Why not? Three for Aaron Lucas. He has 9. Southern Arkansas with a 14-10 lead, as all of a sudden they've gone on a 9-3 run in about a minute and 10 seconds. Nero on the wing, inside to Haynes. Haynes straightens up, baseline jumper, can't hit. Scariolo comes in for the rebound, to the rim. Alex Scariolo, offensive board and the putback. Scariolo has 5. A good job to crash the glass there, as all the attention was on Haynes on the right side. He went to the glass from the left side, and it's Aaron Lucas again. Somebody stop Aaron Lucas. He has 11. He's nearly beating Ouachita on his own right now. 16-12 our score. SAU leading. Scariolo cut off on the baseline by Lucas. Now Street looks for an around the back dribble to help him. Not a whole lot there. He'll go out top. Scariolo, 3 on the front of the rim. Devontae Brooks had it, taken away from him. Nero over to Bankston. Haynes tips it back in. How about Tyler Haynes? Such long arms. At 6'5", just seems like he's taller than that out there with those long arms. A lob on the interior to Brooks. Haynes knocks it away. Haynes has the incredibly tough task tonight of guarding Devontae Brooks, who averages a double-double of 17.7 and 11.2 a game. Plays about 32 minutes a game and has started every game this year for SAU. His brother Jalen Brooks will inbound. And it'll go all the way into the backcourt to Aaron Lucas. Screen set by Brooks. Lucas swings it left side. Quick shot. 3 doesn't go by Archibald. Haynes has a little trouble coming up with the basketball, and there'll be a foul against Southern Arkansas, and it brings us to immediate timeout. Jalen Brooks called for the foul. 11:48 to play in the first. It is Southern Arkansas 16, Ouachita 14. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Considering an online pharmacy? Explore BeSafeRx to find useful information and resources to help you purchase medicines safely online. A safe online pharmacy requires a doctor's prescription, has an address in the United States, has a licensed pharmacist, and is licensed by a state pharmacy board. It's best to stay away from online pharmacies that don't meet these criteria. Discover more helpful tips and resources at BeSafeRx. Go to fda.gov/BeSafeRx.
Scores to pass along to you. Northwestern leads Southern Nazarene 32-26. 90 seconds to go in the first half. That's two teams vying for a 20-win regular season. And Harding leads Monticello 1:21 to play in the first half as well, 22-15. Here's Jacob Street. His 3 won't go as we resume play at Bill Vining Arena. 11:30 remaining. Southern Arkansas won that second 4-minute block as they were able to outscore Ouachita 9-7 to regain a 2-point lead after trailing by 2 at the first media timeout. So much of it, Aaron Lucas, who has hit 3 3-pointers, misses there. And we've got more subs in the game. Chris Weish, the 6'4", 190-pound junior from Elgin, Texas, is on the floor. A lob inside to Bankston will rise up and get it to go. So Bankston has 4, and we are set to see Leon Kalinic and Tavondrick Henry come into the game for Ouachita in just a moment. Open shooter, 3 on its way from Archibald. Nero can't come down with the basketball as it was tipped into the air at the last second by Jalen Brooks. Put back from Devontae Brooks, misses. Haynes comes up with a rebound. Bankston tried to use the around-the-back dribble, fell down, and he's holding his knee, it looked like. 5-on-4 for a while here. Lucas, Bankston's back up now. Lucas drives in, the one-handed runner, fouled. All Coach Nutt did on that play right there just a second ago was look at the ref and point back to where Davion Bankston fell and asked for a foul the other way as well without a call. It's going to be free throws for Aaron Lucas. And Nero was a guilty party on the foul, his second. Had only 3 fouls so far, halfway through the first. Lucas can't hit the first free throw, and that's a rare miss. He's 74 of 91 this season. Bankston and Haynes go out of the game, and this is a spot where if you're Ouachita, you've got to make sure you get the rebounds because you've just lost two big guys when it comes to getting offensive and defensive rebounds. You need Kalinic to make sure he does his part underneath. Kobe Dunlap on the floor. And again, we just mentioned Kalinic and Tavondrick Henry. Skip pass over to Dunlap, Street into the corner, looks underneath to Kalinic, works against Brooks. Kalinic backs down, goes up and under, nothing there. Back out to Street, 10 to shoot. And now they're looking for Kalinic inside, can't get it to him. Now they do, 5 to shoot. Kalinic up with a right-hand hook, too strong off the back iron, or off the backboard. And here comes SAU. So 9:45 to go in the first as we had a late start tonight due to senior night. 4 members of the Lady Tigers team announced, 2 on the men's basketball team, and then a lot of the cheerleaders as well. Lost count on how many there were. Lucas with 7 to shoot, high at the rim. Nero comes up with it. Dunlap ends up with it. Now it's Street. He will rise up with a reverse layup, and he is able to make it look easy. How about that one from Jacob Street? Some players might have panicked in that moment. He knew what he was doing the whole way there with the reverse layup and had just enough finesse to make that one go. 3 from Archibald, missed it short. Henry, the rebound, he wants to run. Henry falls down and the foul is called. I was going to say, don't think they would let that go 2 times in a row with a Ouachita player falling down without a foul. Foul on Chris Weish, his first. Second team foul against Southern Arkansas. They'll put the shot clock down at, 28? Yep. So again, the first time around, it was 71 to 67, but that was so long ago. Haynes did have 12 points and 8 rebounds in that one. Alex Scariolo had 10 points. Rebound tracked down by SAU's Chris Weish. Over to Lucas. Into the game now for SAU is Connor Harvey, redshirt freshman out of Mena. SAU loses the basketball. Ouachita comes up with it. 8.5 to play in the first half. Kalinic down underneath, stuck against Brooks. Out to Nero. And Nero's going to step back, take the shot. Kalinic offensive board, and he lost it out of bounds. So it'll stay with Ouachita in plenty of time as the shot clock had just reset a moment ago to 20. It's down to 19. Well, we just talked about Kalinic coming into the game, needing to crash the boards. He did there. There we go. Got the shot clock right. Here's Street on the left wing, off the glass and in for Jacob Street. A little extra smile there for number 13, perhaps. Lucky 13 off the glass. My time to issue my standard line. It's after hours, but the bank was open right there. Needed to get that one in one more time. That, cheesy dad line of mine. 21-17. At this point, I just call it out. Call it what it is. Ouachita with a 4-point lead. Lucas from the free throw line underneath to Brooks. Good play there from Devontae Brooks. And the leading scorer in this game is on the board. Brooks has his first 2, the senior out of Shreveport. Cannot let him heat up. Nero inside to Kalinic. Brooks really tough to handle. Kalinic hits the basket and the foul. Oh my goodness. Can't help but smile about that one for Leon Kalinic, and it'll bring us to the media timeout. Kalinic at the free throw line. When we come back, 7:10 to play in the first half. It is Ouachita 23, Southern Arkansas 19. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
On December 7, 2005, I was deployed to Baghdad, Iraq. As I was searching for the bomb, the bad guy and the bomb found me first. After the explosion, I was left with a 1% chance of living. During my road to recovery, I had a tremendous amount of support from friends and families and the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes. The primary mission of the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is to offer financial emergency assistance to veterans and their families.
Visit saluteheroes.org to learn more.
Leon Kalinich with a strong move as he was fouled by Devontae Brooks. And so the basket good for Kalinich, and at the 7:10 mark of the first half, the Ouachita Tigers have a 4-point lead, 23-19. And Kalinich just can't quite get the roll there on the free throw. That was Ouachita's first free throw of the game. Defense chant, but it did not help there as Blake Rogers went right around his defender for the layup. So the game's gone back and forth. Ouachita had a 2-point lead at the first media break, and SAU had a 2-point lead at the second break, and then Ouachita had a 4-point lead at our last break a second ago. You got Jacob Street, Leon Kalinich, Tavondrick Henry, Alex Scariolo, and Kobe Dunlap on the floor. Still going to be Ouachita basketball, 8 to shoot. Street will inbound, standing in front of the Mule Rider bench. Able to get it into Scariolo, and he will take the shot with 4, swishes it home. Alex Scariolo, he had it all the way, you could tell, and so he has 7. Scariolo is averaging 8.6 a game. He's off to a quick start here in this first half. Ouachita playing really well here in this first half, up by 4. Some contact with Kalinich and Rogers, and a foul will be called on Leon Kalinich. First foul on Kalinich, 3rd team foul against Ouachita. Dodge Brown, a sophomore from Commerce, Texas, will check in just a moment for the Mule Riders. Blake Rogers to the free throw line. Rogers has been at the free throw line just 33 times this season, making 23, 69.7%. So again, Brown is in. I think it might have been Brooks who took a seat. He might have already been out, not sure. Offensive rebound, ball knocked around a bit, and Street's able to come up with it. Ouachita stays with it long enough to get the possession. We're inside 6 to play in the first half. While it was a late start, it's been a quick first half so far. Student section off to our left standing. Here's Kobe Dunlap, rises up for the 3 and buries it. Kobe Dunlap played in 17 games this season. Averages 4 points a game. When he's on, he's on. As he hits that 3, his 19th. 21st three-point make of the season. Now we've got a whistle. And Blake Rogers is going to the line for 3. Well, Rogers. Other games now at halftime. Harding at home tonight in Searcy, leading Monticello 24-16. That's a low-scoring first half. And Northwestern 35-28 against Southern Nazarene at the break out in Alva. Northwestern at 19-7. Southern Nazarene is 18-8. Northwestern in 3rd place, Southern Nazarene in 4th. Blake Rogers, the stats showing him with 8 points. I missed some points somewhere in there. 9 now, actually. Not sure what I missed exactly to give Rogers 9 points. I guess I wasn't, maybe a 3 missed earlier. Brown underneath to Brooks. Haynes blocks his shot. Haynes was right there with Brooks, who went from the right to the left side. Maybe could have gone up on the right side, not sure. Check this out again. The block shot from Haynes. And Dunlap is going to be called for a foul, reaching in there as he tried to go up and steal the inbounds play. 15 foul against the Tigers. 5:01 to play in the first half. A 3-point game. Ouachita 28, Southern Arkansas 25. Well, outside of last year's schedule where you played the teams in Arkansas 4 times, the schedule the last 4 or 5 years has been Southern Arkansas at the end of the season to end the regular season. So this has been a fairly competitive rivalry between the two. There's been some really good games played here, especially at Bill Vining Arena in the last couple of years. I think we're in for another one here today. Scariolo knocked it free of Garrett for a moment. Garrett misses short, and Brooks goes right back to the rim and in. Give Devontae Brooks some credit right there for getting the basketball, keeping his composure as he muscled his way to the rim. And it's now all of a sudden a 1-point game as some of the momentum is back to the Mule Riders. Henry over to Haynes. Haynes will work in on Brooks, go up with the right hand, flicks it to the rim, can't finish. Scariolo offensive board. He'll go right back. Alex Scariolo has 9 to lead Ouachita. You like what you're seeing out of Alex Scariolo, just a redshirt freshman. If he could continue to develop, sure would help Ouachita in the years to come in what has been a difficult year. Devontae Brooks, he gets to the rim and puts that one in, now has 6. Devondrick Henry, the freshman out of Texarkana, up top to Haynes. Haynes will set a screen, gets it back from Scariolo into the corner, now up top. And Street with 8 to shoot. Stutters his dribble, goes to the rim, missed it. And it looks as if maybe Brooks deflected it. 3 back the other way for the Mule Riders. Blake Rogers. Rogers has 12. And Southern Arkansas has a lead. A timeout with 3:14 to go in the first half. Ouachita will take it. Might end up being our media timeout here. We'll see. But we'll take a break anyways. Southern Arkansas by 2. Back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
3:14 to play in the first half from Bill Vining Arena, where Southern Arkansas has a 2-point lead. As we look at some of the numbers, 11 of 27 for the Mule Riders, 40.7%. They're 5 of 14 from downtown, 5 of 7 at the free throw line. Ouachita 13 of 27, good for 48%, 4 of 9 from three-point range, and they've been to the free throw line just one time. It was a miss. 17 to 15, a slight Ouachita advantage in rebounding. And so far, Ouachita has actually had the lead for 9 minutes of this first half. Meanwhile, SAU has had the lead for 4.5 minutes. So Ouachita has controlled most of this first half. Their largest lead of the game, 6. SAU had a 4-point lead at one time. Nero against Lucas. And Brooks skies high for the rebound. Bankston takes it from him. Back to Haynes. Haynes is fouled by Brooks. Turn of events there for Ouachita, as it looked like SAU was going to come away with the basketball, but instead the board says one foul on Devontae Brooks. My apologies. I missed something earlier because I gave him one. And Haynes to the line. Ouachita as a team 71% at the free throw line this year. Haynes has got one more coming his way. That's seventh best in the conference for Ouachita. Haynes can't hit either one. Ouachita is typically in that top 2 or 3, maybe 4 for free throw percentage. That's hurt him a little bit this year. Rogers underneath to Brooks against Bankston. Brooks just bodies his way in. And Jalen Brooks has his first 2 points. And a defense chant from Southern Arkansas that you can hear over most of the crowd right now. Haynes underneath against Lucas will rise up, shoot over the top of him, and score. That's Tyler Haynes with 6. And now Aaron Lucas on the right wing to Rogers. Rogers with 12 points. He and Aaron Lucas both have 12, and Lucas is going to dial up a long 3, and he hits. Wow. Aaron Lucas given space. Of course, it was from about Prescott down the interstate there, and he hit it. 5-point SAU lead, and they're looking to add to it here. Brooks comes up with a steal, uses that Euro step through there to get past Bankston, but there was a foul. Or was there? Okay, waiting on the official. Puts the foul on Bankston. And should bring us to the media timeout with 1:32 to play. Referees discussing a bit. We'll see what they do here. We're going to come look at something, I think. 1:32 to go, and we will hang right here to see what they would like to look at. What are we looking for? He'll talk to him there, yep. Yeah, you can look here, yep. We're still looking at something, trying to check maybe the time. Will you let me know here? Are we looking at the time? Okay, all right. All right. All I know is I heard great work from the officials, so I guess everybody's happy. 37-32, Southern Arkansas, 1:32 to play, and let's see if they give them a little bit more time on this or not. I think they're ready to go. Okay, well, the officials did not give me the summary of that. Okay, I did not see that coming. So, flagrant foul was called. Bankston actually went over to help the player up. Well, yeah, he wrapped him up. So it wasn't like an elbow or anything too outrageous, but he definitely wrapped up the player while he was in the air, which you cannot do. So the flagrant one was called against Davion Bankston. And so now Jalen Brooks with 5 points. And it's SAU basketball, and they have a 6-point lead. We're down to 90 seconds to play in the first half. Mule Riders with a lot of momentum right now. Rogers over to Lucas up top. That was blocked by Street. And it's Jalen Brooks who comes down with it. Now Haynes. Haynes falls down. Brooks has it. 3 to shoot. Rogers with 1. I don't think he got that shot away. in time anyways from the shot clock, but Ouachita comes up with the possession. And we're down to 60 seconds to play in the first half. Ouachita needs a basket to carry some momentum into the break. Haynes, will they count it? They will. Tyler Haynes gets the basket and one. Foul was on Devontae Brooks, his second personal foul. And Haynes now has 8. Limited free throw opportunities in the contest for Ouachita. On just the 5th team foul against SAU. Haynes does connect on the free throw this time. He has 9. And he and Alex Scariolo both have 9 to lead Ouachita. Jacob Street has 8. Fans are booing Tyler Garrett. They have chosen him as their guy tonight, I guess, from Springdale, Arkansas. At the rim, it's Jalen Brooks who is fouled. During the Henderson game a few weeks ago, we had a player that was booed every time he touched the basketball, and it seems the fans have gotten in on that again tonight with Tyler Garrett. Street was called for his first foul. Garrett has one more free throw. Jesse Davis Jr., a sophomore from Shreveport, out of Red River High School, is on the floor for the Mule Riders. And Dodge Brown is back in as well. Kobe Dunlap is on the floor for Ouachita as both teams make their chess match moves here. Free throw for Brooks. Good there. And here we are with 30 seconds to play until halftime. Ouachita trails by 4. Lob into Haynes on the baseline. Drives into the middle of the paint, goes up and connects. Tyler Haynes hits again. He now has 11. Southern Arkansas, with the shot clock turned off, makes it to the half-court line with 10 seconds left. Here is Dodge Brown with 8 seconds. To Brooks, right side. It is Garrett launching with 3, misses. Offensive rebound, put back, no, by Jalen Brooks. And it brings us to halftime. 39-37 our score. Southern Arkansas has a 2-point lead on the Ouachita Tigers on senior night, the final regular season home game of the 21-22 campaign before the season ends at Monticello on Saturday. We're back in a little while. It's halftime. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Here's Chase Hartzell with a sports update for us.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Roar Rundown. I'm Chase Hartzell. It's been a week full of excitement here in Tiger Nation, and we're here to bring you the latest. We start at Sully Anderson Field, where the Ouachita softball team took the field for 5 games against non-conference opponents this week. After sweeping a doubleheader against Central Baptist, OBU opened up weekend play in thrilling fashion against Midwestern State. Center fielder Heather Brown stepped up to the plate in the bottom of the 7th with a chance to walk it off. Here's Matthew Branch with the call.
1-2 popped up. That could be trouble. It's going to get down. They're going to send Wade around. Wade scores, and Tigers walk it off and win 2-1 over Midwestern State.
Ouachita's 2-1 victory on Saturday was the second of 3 wins for Tiger pitcher Madison Miller this week. She also claimed winning decisions against Central Baptist and Christian Brothers, compiling an earned run average of 0.67 while limiting opposing batters to a 145 batting average during the 3-game stretch. As a result of her excellent performance, the GAC named her Pitcher of the Week. The Tigers played a second contest on Saturday, falling to the number 20 team in the land, Texas A&M Kingsville. Ouachita would bounce back, though, with a 6-3 win over Christian Brothers on Sunday. They finished the week with a 4-1 record and will look to build on that momentum as they host Oklahoma Baptist this weekend in the first series of Great American Conference play. You can catch all of those games on osdn.live. Now we move from one diamond to the other as the Tiger baseball team hosted Southern Nazarene in their GAC opener. Ouachita opened a doubleheader on Saturday with a 4-1 victory, and a 7-inning game was scheduled to take place immediately afterwards. After 7 innings, though, the Tigers and the Crimson Storm were knotted up at 4 runs apiece. With 2 away in the bottom of the 8th, freshman left fielder Isaac Knoll stepped up to the plate with a chance to win it. Here was the call.
Gorel sets. Here's the next pitch to the freshman. It's hit pretty well out to right field. Could this get down in the corner? It will! Good night, Arkadelphia. Tigers win! And Isaac Knoll is the hero of the day after being held hitless in the first game of this doubleheader.
This wouldn't be the only time that the Tigers won in a walk-off scenario either. One day later, Ouachita led SNU 10-4 with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jackson Chaney stepped up to the plate in a pinch-hitting situation with his team needing 4 runs to finish with the Mercy Rule finish. Here's what happened next.
Owen taking his time. Now he sets. He's got his sign. Here's the 3-1. That one's hit pretty well out to left field. Left fielder going back. He's at the warning track. He's at the wall. Touch 'em all, Tiger. It's a grand slam. Game over. Jackson Chaney promptly unloads the bases, and now the arms from the bullpen rushing in as we have an unconventional walk-off home run, and it's a grand slam on top of it.
Chaney's grand slam served as his first home run of the year, and it secured the sweep for the Tigers in their first conference series. They tied a 6-4 overall record to go along with a 3-0 conference record as they traveled to Oklahoma Baptist for their next series. The Ouachita Tiger Sharks had quite a weekend as well as they competed in the NSIS Conference Championships. The men's team finished 3rd while the women's team finished 4th, with the teams combining for 11 top 8 performances on Saturday. On Friday, Elijah Christensen also set a new school record for the 200-yard butterfly event, clocking in with a time just over 1 minute and 49 seconds for a 3rd place finish. The day also included personal bests from multiple Tiger Sharks, and you can learn more about those in the recaps of last weekend's events on obutigers.com. Back on dry land, the Ouachita men's tennis team found themselves ranked number 17 in the country as they opened MIAA play with 3 matches in Kansas this past weekend. They swept Newman on Friday, their 3rd victory in a row. On Saturday, however, their winning streak was snapped at the hands of number 22 Washburn in a 4-0 bout. The Tigers weren't done yet, though, and finished the weekend on a high note with a sweep of Emporia State on the road. OBU is set to take on 3 non-conference opponents this weekend. The women's tennis team found themselves on the short end of a tight 4-3 finish against Rhodes on Saturday. They were set to take on Arkansas Tech on Tuesday. Inclement weather, though, has pushed that match back to Friday. The Tigers will then travel up to Conway for a doubleheader against Central Arkansas. Back on February 12th, the wrestling team wrapped up its season at the GLVC Championships with a 6th place finish. Among the Tigers' standouts from the tournament was Jackson Carter, who finished with a perfect 3-0 day. Finally, we head over to Bill Vining Arena for an update on Ouachita basketball. Ouachita's men's team hosted East Central on Tuesday night, with Jacob Street recording a career-high 19 points. OBU fell to ECU in this battle of the Tigers by a score of 75-63. Back on Saturday, the women's team took down Southeastern Oklahoma State in a 59-53 victory. Aspen Thornton topped the team with 16 points, bringing her season average to 22.7 points per game. That is the 2nd highest scoring mark in the nation. Both the men's and women's teams will host SAU on Thursday for senior night at Bill Vining Arena, and that game will be available to stream live at osdn.live. Then on Saturday, the 2 squads will hit the road to face UAM. Those matchups will serve as the final games of the regular season for both teams. It is possible that we will see some inclement weather this weekend, so stay tuned to the Ouachita Athletics and OSDN social media pages. Full schedules and updates will also be available at obutigers.com. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Roar Rundown.
Ouachita update. We're at halftime here at Bill Vining Arena, 39-37. Southern Arkansas with the lead on the Ouachita Tigers. And as it is senior night for the basketball team, it's also our version of senior night here for the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. And I'm happy to be joined by Matthew Branch, who has been one of the mainstays of the OSDN the last couple of years. We talked to Chris McQuiston at the halftime of the women's game, and he has seen the growth of this program and the OSDN. You certainly have too, Matthew, and this has come a long way because of you and several others. So first, let me just say thank you for all that you've done for Ouachita and for the sports coverage.
Thank you, Michael. It's been great the past 3 years to get to kind of be here with OSDN since the beginning. It started my sophomore year. A few of us, the seniors, were all founding members of OSDN, so it's been a lot of fun.
I don't know if you guys have heard this, but this is my 6th year doing the games, and we have gone from a night where I was punching the buttons to dial in to I'm not even sure if we were on the air for an entire game to where we are now. So it certainly has come a long way. I actually liked it. I just show up and put the headset on now, so thanks for that too. Tell us about what you do for Ouachita, because I know you get to do a lot of play-by-play, baseball and softball, and filled in for me, I know. Just what all do you do?
Well, since I serve as the student director, I've served as it last year and this year. Kind of get to do a little bit of everything. I wear a lot of hats, physically and figuratively.
Yes.
I know Bab will laugh at that one back in
You're
the
wearing the
trailer.
hat right now.
Always. Like I said, I've done a little bit of everything. I'll direct some. I'll fill in for Bab if he's not here directing. Or for a lot of those basketball games, I'll run graphics, or I filled in for you on play-by-play.
Yeah.
I've been the main play-by-play voice for softball. I did baseball sophomore year and fill in there. Football, it's mostly in the trailer work. It's just a lot of, it's a lot of everything here. You kind of get I've run camera before.
Yeah.
OSDN, a lot of it goes for the same with everybody. Everybody gets to work on pretty much every aspect if you want to. It's just one of those things I'm just at almost every sporting event.
Right. Well, you have you've done something that's really smart that a lot of people don't do is getting that experience all the way through, whether it's camera or replay or graphics or whatever, because you want to be well-rounded and you want to tell people when it comes time for the jobs that you can do whatever, right? And that's what Ouachita has been able to provide for you and your classmates.
Oh, absolutely. I started out sophomore year, like I said, I didn't really know anything about it. I knew this is something I would like to go into. I didn't know we were going to have this. Got an email from some professor I didn't know, Chris Babb, that was brand new. Said, hey, we're starting together a sports network. Come meet in room 330 in Lyle.
Yeah.
And after that, so I started running cameras pretty much. Worked my way up to do graphics on football. We rotate with football a lot. And then by the start of the spring semester, I was directing some men's and women's basketball games. And like I said, I've gotten to do pretty much every level of a sports broadcast you can do, from, just starting with the camera work at the beginning, plugging everything in, running the cameras all the way up to getting the call of shots on what goes on air.
So what's next for you after graduation?
The plan is right now I'm going to accept a graduate assistant position here with Ouachita football, where I'm going to be running their social media, their graphics work, and doing some admin for them for the next 2 years while I get my master's in communications and media management.
Yeah, now that's another thing that you've been able to get experience in. Did you not help with the graphics or do all the graphics for the football signing day? Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I did help Coach Shockley on those, made all those graphics. Next year I'm hoping to go a little bit more in depth and do a little bit more fun stuff with the football team. This year as kind of helping out with having to work for OSDN and just working for OSDN and the football team a little bit was just a little bit too much to go too in-depth with it.
But next year we are also going to find a day where you can come help Bryant High School with their graphics too.
Absolutely. I was looking forward to getting up there in Bryant to help out. Just didn't quite get to this year.
Yep.
But next year I will definitely be up there in Bryant to help y'all out.
You know, we've started our program up there too, so y'all been a lot of inspiration for me at the high school level with my students there, seeing the development here at Ouachita, and I hope we're creating a pipeline to send those students. Chase Hartzell from Lakeside and all, that's fine, but hopefully we'll send some Bryant people down to replace guys like you and Bailey Redden, and we already talked about Chris and A.J. McWilliams and Rachel Sansano. So a lot of seniors. Matthew, thank you for everything you've done for the OSDN, for Ouachita, and I'm glad you're enjoying it, and thanks for coming on with us at halftime.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
All right, let's look over some of the first half numbers as well, and then we will take a break in just a moment. So it looks like this. Southern Arkansas leads 39-37. They shot 37% in the first half. There's those graphics we were talking about. 35% from three-point range, 64 almost % at the free throw line. They were led by 15 points from Aaron Lucas, 12 from Blake Rogers. Ouachita shoots 52%, 51.6% in the first half. That's a winning formula if they can hold on to that. 4 of 9 from three-point range. Only got to the free throw line 4 times and only made 1. 11 points from Tyler Haynes. 9 from Alex Scariolo, 8 from Jacob Street, 4 from Davion Bankston, 3 from Kobe Dunlap, and 2 from Leon Kalinich. The leading rebounder in the first half for Ouachita was Davion Bankston. He had 5, and the leading rebounder for Southern Arkansas was Jalen Brooks, who had 7. So, again, that's some of our first half numbers. For Ouachita, 20 points in the paint. That's a little bit of a surprise considering that SAU has 14 with the play of Devontae Brooks. You would think that he might carry the load there, and he does have 6 points. They have all come in the paint, but Ouachita has done a good job to get some points around the rim, and just enough three-point shots are falling as well to keep this thing close at the half. We'll take a break, and when we come back, it is the second half, the final half of the home slate of the 21-22 season. That's coming up next. You're watching Ouachita Basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
Welcome back. We've still got about 90 seconds on the clock with the teams warming up here before we get this second half underway. As we look at the conference standings, Southeastern Oklahoma tied with Oklahoma Baptist at 16-4. Northwestern in third place at 14-6. Southern Nazarene 13-7. Not quite the lockjam that we have seen through the top 8 in recent years, but you have a couple of positioning and some seeds up for grabs here, as Henderson is sitting as the 5 seed, tied with Southern Arkansas. Southwestern comes in at number 7, 10-10. East Central 8-12. Monticello is there at number 9 and basically out of it. One scenario I think would get them in over East Central, but it is very unlikely. And they're already late into the second half in the other games taking place tonight, where Southern Nazarene has regained a 1-point lead, 47-46 against Northwestern. And it's Harding leading Arkansas Monticello 36-28. So a Harding win over Monticello would eliminate the Weevils and make for an interesting contest on Saturday when Ouachita plays UAM, as they would both just be kind of playing to end the regular season. 3 games being played tomorrow night. There are games that had to be postponed due to the weather, and so several teams are going to play back-to-back nights on the final week of the regular season after some of them already played on Monday and Tuesday night as well. First possession for Ouachita results in a turnover, and the Mule Riders have the basketball back as they swap ends of the floor for the second half. And a concerted effort to get the ball into Brooks. A double team. He goes around that, hangs in the air for a moment, leaves it for Garrett. Out to Lucas, runs off the three-point line, throws the basketball off of Bankston. Ouachita has it. Scariolo all the way to the rim, but just could not finish. So a couple possessions for the Tigers in this second half with no points. Lawrence Nero, Jacob Street, Alex Scariolo, Davion Bankston, and Tyler Haynes are the 5 on the floor for Ouachita. A lob underneath and a lay-in for Jalen Brooks. Jalen Brooks in the first half, 6 points. He now has 8. SAU by 4. Out top, Nero to Jacob Street. 3 won't go. Scariolo skying high for the rebound, but had it taken away from him on his way back to the rim. Lucas swings it left side over to Garrett. Garrett, that jump pass now out top. Lucas open on the extra pass, and he drops home the 3. Aaron Lucas swishes home yet another three-pointer. And he has taken 167 three-point shots this year entering tonight's game. 57 out of 167. That's 30 more than Blake Rogers, and it's about 100 more than most of the other guys on the team. Bankston looking to back down Brooks. Out top, Nero from that left wing follows his shot. And the one-handed shot on the second attempt doesn't go. Cold start for Ouachita in the second half as we're about 2 minutes in. Southern Arkansas has a 7-point lead. Brooks with Haynes guarding. Brooks dives into the paint, missed it short on the front of the rim, and Bankston has the rebound. For Southern Arkansas this year, third in scoring at 75 points a game behind Southeastern and Northwestern. The scoring is certainly there for SAU. But a loss, and they could drop down to 6, maybe 7 in the standings. Nairo's three just will not go. Back the other direction, and it is Brooks. Devontae Brooks now has 8. And a timeout by Coach Nutt with 17:11 to play in the second half as his team has yet to score. It's a 7-0 run for SAU to start the half. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact. More than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Hello, I'm Taylor King. I've been practicing law for over 34 years, but long before that, I learned what it takes to be a good lawyer. Caring for others. You could say it's a family trait, and it's one I've passed along to my kids. If you've been involved in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK. I want to help.
We want to help, to be on your side, by your side. I'm Austin King. Now, I've not been practicing law quite as long as my dad, but thanks to him, I know what it takes to be a good lawyer. I guess you could say it runs in the family.
"7-0 run by the Mule Riders to start the second half, about 3 minutes into the second half of play. 46-37 our score. Ouachita will take on Monticello on Saturday. Southern Arkansas will take on Arkansas Tech on Saturday for the final game, and Tech is one of those teams that had to postpone their contest from tonight to tomorrow, so they'll be playing back-to-back days. Ouachita needing some offense. Haynes was wide open. Scariolo will take the shot instead. Haynes saves it back in bounds. Great effort by Tyler Haynes. That's one of those situations where he was so wide open, some guys might give up on the play. Not Haynes. And on the glass and in for Tyler Haynes. Coach Andy Sharp and company not happy. I think they wanted a foul earlier on Ouachita perhaps. Tyler Haynes able to get the basket to go and going to the line for an and one. It's 13 for Haynes. They put the foul on Brooks, his third. Haynes able to hit the free throw. He now has 14. There's Coach Sharp and assistant coach Logan Quinn. Brooks goes out of the game with his 3 fouls, and so the momentum that Southern Arkansas had, outscoring Ouachita 7-0, has evaporated on the 3 fouls of Brooks, who goes to the bench. And Ouachita has this back to within 6. Into the corner, it is Rogers looking to change that. His 3 won't go. Blake Rogers misses. Bankston out in front with it. Waits for his teammates to catch up to him. Nairo, one of the 2 seniors. There's Street, the other senior. Street drives down to the free throw line. And good defense by the Mule Riders. Ouachita looking for something. Haynes skips it. Extra pass. Scariolo wide open. Cannot hit. And it will be SAU basketball. Chris Weiss is back in for Southern Arkansas. He replaces Tyler Garrett. Scariolo will take a seat. Or excuse me, for the Mule Riders, and then it's Scariolo going out for Ouachita, and Kobe Dunlap is in. In case you missed it, a new home for the Great American Conference Tournament. They'll play at Fire Lake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Not where Oklahoma Baptist plays their games, but it is the home of Oklahoma Baptist in Shawnee. Got a whistle there. That was on the floor. Lucas was hit. And that should be the media timeout now. It is. So 15:35 to play in the second half. Southern Arkansas 46, Ouachita 40. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
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 Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Southern Arkansas with a 6-point lead at the first media timeout of the second half. 46-40 our score with 15:35 to play. Thanks for being with us. Final regular season home game. 5-21 campaign for Ouachita this year. It's been a tough year. Lost some players they expected to have. Darius Hobson being one of them, who is on the bench, right in the middle of the bench, in fact. He scored 8 points in 34 minutes of action the first time Ouachita played Southern Arkansas on December the 11th. That basketball goes all the way into the backcourt where Lucas is able to track it down. Completely legal there. Now into the corner, it's Chris Weish. Missed the three, a scramble for the loose ball. And they reset the shot clock to 20 as Lucas picks it up for SAU. Drive from Rogers, cut off, now into the lane. Brooks offensive rebound. Lucas trying to lob it up, and they'll call a foul on Bankston. Bankston called for the foul for hitting Chris Weish. Also have Victor Ariri in the game, the junior from Houston, Texas, transfer from San Diego City College. Second team foul the second half against Ouachita, and the second on Bankston. $15:10 to go, and it is Mulerider basketball, and now Nero will be called for a foul. Fourth foul on Lawrence Nero. Not what the senior wanted here tonight. Nero's going to go out of the game. He has not scored, and with 4 fouls. And we'll see Marvin Williams-Dunn, freshman guard out of Auckland, New Zealand, on the floor for the first time in this one. Lucas has been a threat from downtown. He'll look underneath, then a two-hand dunk from Jalen Brooks. Brooks becomes the third Mulerider into double figures. Aaron Lucas has 15, Rogers has 12, and Devontae Brooks is right behind him with 8. And we're starting to see the explosive offense from Southern Arkansas. Again, third in the league in points per game. Marvin Williams-Dunn skips it out top. Quick trigger from Dunlap, can't hit. Haynes, one-handed putback, no. Looked like he had it, it would not fall. Brooks has the rebound. That's a travel, right? No call. Three won't go from Victor Ariri. Thought they might call it there, but they allowed him that jump stop. Devondrick Henry into the game now. And it is Dunlap over right side to Street. High pass back up to Dunlap. A little difficult to tell, but it looks as if Muleriders, are they in man or a zone there? It's kind of tough. Got a foul, and it'll be against the Muleriders. Victor Ariri called for his first. Second foul against Southern Arkansas. Now the one game we're keeping an eye on here, Southern Nazarene by 3 against Northwestern with 2:34 to go. That could change the standings a little bit. And Marvin Williams-Dunn comes up with it over to Tavondrick Henry. But a miscue by Henry, and the ball goes back to SAU. Northwestern at 14-6. Southern Nazarene at 13-7. If Southern Nazarene could win, those two would be tied. Lucas is hurt. Maybe cramping up, I don't know. He's going to hobble to the end of the bench. And Dodge Brown is back in. Student section finally cheering a little bit, but it didn't last very long. They've been standing the whole game, which is nice. And down on the ground, it's Brooks able to heave it back out up top. They'll go back inside to Jalen Brooks against Henry. Brooks goes around Tavondrick Henry, but Henry comes up with it, and he's looking to run. Out to Haynes. Haynes, blocking foul. Blocking foul on Dodge Brown. First foul on Brown. See the replay as Haynes able to get out and run with it a little bit. 14 points for Haynes. He'll be stuck there momentarily as he missed that first free throw. Have to give Ouachita credit for the way that they have hung in here against SAU. A 5-21 team against a 16-10 team. Got a foul on a free throw. Wow. I've seen some things this year at the free throw line that I have not seen before. We had a player drop a basketball, I believe, for Henderson, and that counted as a missed free throw. So Haynes does get credit for the free throw make, which would give him 15. And then the foul against Ariri, his second. And Ouachita has the basketball back. Don't see fouls that often on free throws. Street missed it. Haynes, offensive rebound. He has really been a monster on the glass tonight. Haynes, he's fouled. Get the numbers on Tyler Haynes as you see Coach Andy Sharp. That hair not quite as long as it's been in recent years, but still got a pretty good hair going on there. Haynes knocks that one home. Got to see Coach Sharp over Christmas break down in Texarkana, actually. Went down to meet some friends and saw him at a restaurant. Good visit with Coach Sharp. Haynes able to connect there. Looking at the numbers for Tyler Haynes. 22 minutes of action, 6 of 11 from the floor. He has 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 of those coming on the offensive glass. 5-point game. Southern Arkansas still in pretty good shape here. But Ouachita just kind of, it's what we've seen all year long from them. They're right there. It's just a matter of getting over the hurdle and staying over it. Rogers on the wing, 10 to shoot, goes to Brooks. Now to Brown, and they work it back over to Ariri with 5. Lost it. Dunlap picks it up. Dunlap will leave for Haynes, and he'll dunk it home. Tell you what, that was some absolute patience from Kobe Dunlap. He waited till the very last possible second, threw it over his shoulder. Out of bounds off of the Mule Riders, and Ouachita will have it. 12:22 to play. It was Dunlap who just picked his pocket, and then a nice little pass over to Haynes for the dunk. 3-point game. Ouachita can tie, maybe get within 1, depending on what they do here. Marvin Williams-Dunn inside to Haynes. He's had a big game, 19 points. Out to Street. 3 will not go, and a rebound from Jalen Brooks. Street, one of the 2 seniors recognized in between games. And there is Devontae Brooks back into the game with his 3 fouls, reasserting himself on offense. 50-45 our score. Haynes on the baseline, dives into the paint, out to Marvin Williams Dunn. We're inside 12 to play. Street won't take it this time. Now he will drive around his defender, leaves it for Henry, goes up and slams it home. An emphatic dunk from Tavondrick Henry. And we've got a whistle. Media timeout with 11:17 to play as that foul is on Henry. We're back in a moment. 50-47 our score. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Check this out. Tavondrick Henry rising up, slamming it home off of the pass from Jacob Street. Henry did pick up a foul at the other end before the media timeout. So it's 50-47, Southern Arkansas. And that free throw will not go. It's Blake Rogers at the free throw line. The junior has 12 points. 4 players in double figures for Southern Arkansas as Rogers connects on 1 of 2. SAU going to apply a little bit of pressure with Dodge Brown in the backcourt against Marvin Williams Dunn. 4-point Southern Arkansas lead. 2 big dunks on the last couple of possessions for Ouachita. Now Henry stripped of the basketball but fouled. Good pass by Kobe Dunlap underneath. Blake Rogers charged for the foul, his first personal. Fouls adding up for the Mule Riders. They have 6. Ouachita not too far behind. They've committed 4. See that replay again. You had Rogers there, and you also had Devontae Brooks. And if they had called it on Brooks, it would have been his 4th. But they did not. Ouachita having some troubles at the free throw line tonight. 50%, 5 of 10. Haynes goes 1 of 2. Haynes is having one of his best games. 20 points for Tyler Haynes. And he played really well on Tuesday night against East Central. A game that Ouachita did lose, but they certainly showed some life in that one. Haynes had 13 points and 5 boards, a better night here tonight. Brooks, jump stop in the paint, sends it to the rim with one hand, and it's his brother Brooks, Devontae, who comes down with it, and he's fouled. And Tavondrick Henry has just been charged with his 2nd personal. On the floor, 15 foul against Ouachita. I imagine you're going to see some free throws down the stretch. 16 fouls for SAU, 5 for Ouachita. That ball was stripped away as it was Jalen Brooks who tried to go to the rim. Marvin Williams Dunn to Jacob Street. Over to Tavondrick Henry, who will take the 3, missed it short. Street an offensive board. Street drives in, tries to go with a one-hand. I'd call that a magic shot if it had gone. Trick shot. Kind of just a last-second finger roll from an interesting angle. Brooks misses, gets his own board. He's fouled. Players go flying everywhere, and Devontae Brooks is heading to the line with exactly 10 minutes to play in the second half. I believe that's on Marvin Williams Dunn, his first. Devontae Brooks, 62% at the free throw line this year. The big man has been there a lot. 96 of 154. Missed there. First time at the free throw line tonight for Devontae Brooks. There's one more, the left-hander missed on both. Two big misses at the line for Southern Arkansas. Still a long, long way to go. Half of this second half to play. Mule Riders by 3. Davion Bankston getting a bit of a break right now. Here's a 3 for Kobe Dunlap. Hits the rim and in. Dunlap's second three-point make. He had one in the first half as well. We are tied at 51. Told you early on that these two teams have had some really close games here at Bill Vining Arena. We expected yet another one tonight, and we're getting it. There's yet another foul. Tyler Haynes is called for his first foul. That's the good news, is that he's only picked up one. But it is the 7th foul against Ouachita, and so we're in the bonus the rest of the way as Devontae Brooks goes back to the line. Missed 2 just a little while ago. 1-1. So he's missed 3 in a row, but it's tapped back out. Now here's Aaron Lucas. He'll step back on the three-point line. And Brooks tries to come in and get the rebound, and he does. And, you know, we talked with Coach Nutt Tuesday night after the East Central game. Henry will get the rebound. I asked him about how do you regroup and take on a Southern Arkansas team. Here's Street on the run. Hits the 3 in transition. Street has 11. It was one of the rare times in a post-game interview where I heard Coach Dennis Nutt talk about a player from the team he was about to play, specifically by name. He mentioned Devontae Brooks and what a load he is and how hard it is to slow him down. There's his brother Jalen Brooks getting into the scoring action yet again. He now has 12. Of course, everybody talks about Devontae Brooks. He's been in the league long enough now, a senior. Street, I should say. Ooh, tipped back in by Haynes. There's not too many better than Tyler Haynes when it comes to those follow-up shots, one-handed tip-ins. A 3 silenced the crowd from Blake Rogers. 16 points for Rogers. We are tied at 56 as we near the 8-minute mark. Henry, Marvin Williams Dunn, Street, Haynes, Dunlap. Haynes can't hit. Street, offensive rebound. He'll try to put it right back in on the front of the rim and in. That's 13 for Jacob Street, 2-point Ouachita lead. And Tavondrick Henry will be called for a foul. Ouachita not happy with it. Media timeout, 7:48 to play. Ouachita 58, Southern Arkansas 56. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Kobe Dunlap knocking home his second three-point make. Ouachita leads by 2. It's gone final in Alva. Northwestern hangs on to defeat Southern Nazarene 63-60. And so that means Northwestern goes to 15-6. Southern Nazarene falls to 13-8. A win by Southern Arkansas, and they would be able to catch Southern Nazarene in the standings. Henderson will play tomorrow. They're also tied right now with SAU. The foul before the timeout was against Devondrick Henry, his third. Lawrence Nero is on the bench with 4. And no, actually, yeah, he's still on the bench. Another situation where Ouachita cannot get a rebound on a free throw. This time, Rogers hits a 3, and that hurts. 59-58. Got to box out. A high lob up off the backboard, and now the Mule Riders want to run in transition the other way with Connor Harvey, and they slow down. Lucas bounces it underneath to Brooks. Goes up against Henry, playing with those 3 fouls, and Jalen Brooks, veteran player, goes around the freshman. Brooks has 14, the junior for the Mule Riders, playing strong in this one. Ouachita needs a basket. Set to bring Scariolo back into the game in just a moment. Marvin Williams done, will drive in. 7 minutes remaining. Now Henry missed it short. Haynes tries to keep it alive, and he's not quite able to do so. Had to jump over his teammate. Devondrick Henry will go out of the game, so Scariolo is in. Pretty good switch there. Henry's been playing well, but you bring in Scariolo, who has 9 points. He can hit from about anywhere on the floor. Just a matter of playing defense against the Mule Riders and not letting those guards get those long shots, and then you deal with Brooks on the inside. There's the pass into Brooks and a very quick foul against Tyler Haynes, and it's a 1-on-1 situation on the 8th team foul against Ouachita. Haynes called for wrapping up there. Devontae Brooks to the line. And Brooks hits. Seems like at home this year, Ouachita's done a really good job of keying in on that star player, not letting them get too big of numbers. But it's the other guys that have been beating them. Rogers averages 10 a game. He's got 19. You've got Jalen Brooks, averages 13. He's got 14 tonight. Those guys are getting their numbers. But Devontae Brooks averages 18, and he's got 11. There is Kobe Dunlap with a 3. Kobe Dunlap, his third three-point make of the contest for the freshman from Greenbrier. Brooks actually with 12 on that free throw make a moment ago. Ball lost out of bounds. A turnover on the Mule Riders. 6:08 to play. And Ouachita in possession, trailing by 2. Williams done, sends it to Street. He'll back out at the three-point line. Scariolo fading away. Haynes tried to go in, just slightly mistimed the jump. Here is Connor Harvey knocking home a 3. And that right there is what you cannot allow. Redshirt freshman and Connor Harvey, who plays only 10 minutes a game, to get into the action and to beat you. Scariolo comes right back, knocks home a 3. Just what we were talking about a minute ago, we know he can hit. Still a 2-point game. He has 12. Harvey hit that 3 a moment ago. Sends it inside to Brooks, and he's fouled. Street came over to make sure Brooks didn't get the easy 2. We're down to 5:13 to go. Southern Arkansas has had the lead for 20 minutes, actually about 22 minutes. Ouachita's had the lead for about 10 minutes. A lot of the first half, Ouachita was leading, but second half is, for the most part, been a slight advantage for the Mule Riders. Brooks is getting his points at the free throw line, one at a time, making 1 out of 2 just about every trip. Street had it blocked. They'll call a foul. A 2-point shot attempt from Jacob Street. And it was on Devontae Brooks, so his 4th personal. Wiping up the sweat on the court. Referee called it immediately a 2, and he got that right, so they don't have to check that, but they do have a delay to wipe up the court. See Street taking the fall there, and we saw it earlier in the first half with a SAU player who was hit and then fell down, and well, nowadays you just try to sell it. Street to the free throw line. He hasn't had many opportunities at the line this year, 16 of 23. He does connect there, and he now has 13. This has been one of those nights where several Ouachita players are doing their part. 22 points from Tyler Haynes. You got 14 now from Jacob Street. And you've got 13 from Alex Scariolo. Excuse me, I might have that wrong. That might be 15. Yeah, 14 for Street. It is 15. Sorry, 15 for Jacob Street. 15 for Street, 13 for Scariolo. Lucas, right side pass. Rogers hits the 3. Got to protect that 3-point line now, late in the game. Southern Arkansas will use that to their advantage to get some momentum. 4.5 to play. Street will try to do the same back the other way. Yes. Jacob Street connects from downtown. He now has 18 points in his final home game as a member of the Ouachita Tigers. He has performed quite nicely. Harvey, his 3, misses. Rebound Ouachita, nearing 4 to play. A chance to take the lead down by 1. Scariolo cutting to the rim, had it blocked. It's still loose, and it's out of bounds off of Southern Arkansas. Pretty good block there. But it is still going to be Ouachita basketball. Harvey is out of the game for SAU. See on the replay, Scariolo. And definitely out of bounds there. Good call. And bounce pass goes to Haynes. You got a lot of options out there. A lot of guys playing well right now. Dunlap's hit 3 3-pointers. Scariolo having a big game. Street's having a good game. It's Dunlap in the corner. Could not hit. Rebound by Jalen Brooks. And we're down to 3:45 to play. Tyler Garrett back in the game. They were booing Garrett quite a bit in the first half. He throws the basketball away. Haynes comes up with it. Street's going to wait for everybody to catch up. He'll give it over to Williams Dunn. Retrieves it back now. Street's got a big old scratch along his right shoulder. Dunlap rises up and hits the 3. No, Scariolo. Scariolo hits the 3. That's 16 for Alex Scariolo. It has been a long time since we've seen numbers like this from 3 players on the verge of 20 points each. Haynes has 22, Street has 18, Scariolo has 16, and we've got a timeout, and we'll take it. A 2-point Ouachita lead, 72-70. We're back in a moment. You're watching Ouachita basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Ouachita has a 2-point lead over Southern Arkansas, 72-70 with 3:10 remaining in the contest. And it is Southern Arkansas basketball. 10 team fouls for Ouachita. They have 2 timeouts remaining. SAU has committed 7 fouls. They also have 2 timeouts remaining. We're in the bonus the rest of the way for both teams. SAU in possession as Brooks hands it off to Rogers. Rogers steps inside the 3-point line. Fight for the loose ball. Player goes down for Ouachita, and now a blocking foul called underneath. And no complaint from the Ouachita bench on that one, despite the boos from the crowd. It's the second foul on Alex Scariolo. And again, we're in the double bonus situation. See the replay there. The blocking foul was called as Scariolo tried to take the charge on Brooks. Free throws up and in. 11 of 21 at the free throw line for Southern Arkansas, only 52%. And Ouachita, not a whole lot better, 8 of 13. Brooks goes 1 of 2, and they just have a hard time getting a rebound on the free throws, but they are able to secure that one. Scariolo threw it away. Fans down at this end saying that it was out of bounds off of Southern Arkansas. I don't know. I didn't see that. I don't think so. I think just a bad pass. SAU with a chance to go back out on top. Lucas thought about it, runs past Dunlap and floats it up to the rim and in. Aaron Lucas, not been heard of in a while, but he does have, I believe, 20 now. 20 for Lucas. Haynes, some contact inside. They will blow the whistle. Look back at this last play. I guess maybe they say maybe Haynes was in bounds. Yeah, I don't know. Haynes might have been in bounds on that last play as I was looking back on that. Well, Devontae Brooks has just fouled out of the game. So the leading scorer for Southern Arkansas is on the bench for the final 2:18 of this one as Haynes hits the first free throw. And even with the day that Haynes is having, it's been a while since we've heard from him. He does now have 23 points. Haynes last scored at the 8:25 mark. Goes 1 of 2 at the line. We're tied at 73. Clock rolling. Should head under 2 minutes to play on this possession as Aaron Lucas controls for Southern Arkansas. He's directing traffic, sending Rogers. Here's Rogers with it, back to Lucas. Back to Rogers. He'll set and fire offline. Offensive board, and it's Ariri who's fouled. A rare play for Victor Ariri, who has 2 fouls and no points. Marvin Williams-Dunn is called for the foul. It's going to be really important for Ouachita to crash the glass and not give up any more offensive chances for Southern Arkansas on second looks. Two-shot situation here the rest of the way, and the free throw will not go. SAU dropping below 50%. Actually right there at 50% now, 12 of 24 from the free throw line. And Ariri's had only 14 free throw attempts this year, 10 of 14. He does make 1 of 2. That's his first point of the contest, and it gives Southern Arkansas a 1-point lead. Clock rolling again. Marvin Williams-Dunn on the floor along with Street, Dunlap, Scariolo, and Haynes. Not exactly the way you had it drawn up at the beginning of the year with this Ouachita team for the final 2 minutes of the home season. But nonetheless, it's where we're at. They're down by 1. Haynes, right hand, can't hit. Rebound by Jalen Brooks. And now SAU is going to use the clock. You would think. I'd like this gym to get a little bit louder right now. Lucas works it over to Hariri, sends it left side. Rogers will launch a 3, can't hit. Haynes has the rebound, and they were looking for that big-time hit right there. Couldn't come up with it. So now Ouachita, with even just a 2, can go back out on top. 60 seconds left. Street. Haynes trying to post up, not there. Now here's Street, open, long, NBA, range 3 hits. Jacob Street connects from basically Prescott. Holy cow, 76-74. Ouachita leads. SAU back the other way. How about that from Victor Ariri, who has not made a shot all game. SAU 77, Ouachita 76. Mule Riders take a timeout with 39.2 to play. We'll keep it right here on a 30-second timeout. 1 left for Southern Arkansas and 2 timeouts left for SAU. Hoping to get my live stream caught up in case it comes down to the final play. Well, they've been doing a great job on replay tonight and working with the folks in the production truck on the headset, which has worked out well, but I want to make sure I'm on it as well, as this one's going to come down to the wire. 77-76. There's a 9-second difference between the game and the shot clock. So what does Ouachita do? You know, it's always that question. You have to leave yourself some time if you miss, but 9 seconds is plenty, and you know they're not going to take it with at the very last second of the shot clock. So you'd think they run it down 10, 12, 13 seconds left before they shoot. We'll see. Street drives in. They're going to go a little quicker than that. Haynes puts it back in. There's no foul called. Haynes has to get back up, and now Coach Nutt will take a timeout. Good decision there because he had Haynes on the ground. So while it does give SAU essentially a free timeout to work with to come up with a play, you kind of had to do that there. Haynes was on the ground. And so Ouachita has a 1-point lead, 78-77. That took 13 seconds. Not exactly what I expected there from Ouachita, but it worked to give them a lead, and now you got to lock down on defense for 26 seconds. There was Street driving in. Have we mentioned it tonight or what? Tyler Haynes is just the best there is, and the tip backs and the putbacks, one hand, two hand, it doesn't matter. 25 points tonight for Tyler Haynes, and he's had a couple of big baskets right here down the stretch. Plenty of options for the Mule Riders. 26.1 to play. Tyler Garrett and Aaron Lucas, the guards. And the inbounds goes to Garrett. It's Lucas. Lucas to half court with 20 seconds left against Scariolo. Lucas drives on Scariolo, gets all the way to the rim, but it was Scariolo who blocked the shot. Alex Scariolo comes up with it. Alex Scariolo with a blocked shot as he went toe-to-toe there with Aaron Lucas. And a foul will send Ouachita to the line with 13.3 to play. It is just a 1-and-1 on the 8th team foul against Southern Arkansas. First one is good for Scariolo. 17 for Scariolo. He can give his team a 3-point lead. 13.3 to play. We'll see if SAU plays it out or if they take their timeout. Free throw is good for Scariolo. And here we go. Ouachita by 3, 10 seconds left. Lucas. Marvin Williams done guarding. Lucas kicks it out to Ariri. His three just on the front of the rim. He missed it. a foul with .2 on the clock. They might add a little bit more. We'll wait and see. I imagine they're going to come over here and check the clock. And so right now, referee's coming over to put the headset on. I'm going to look at it here on this monitor as well. And so somewhere around 1.52, somewhere in that range it looks like. We're watching it here if you want to see it up here as well. The problem is that will match the... So we'll look at it one more time on the laptop here. I'll go back. Oh, went too far. We'll look at it one more time here. So the clock stopped at .2, but there was obviously more time than that, as Ariri missed the three, and then it was Marvin Williams-Dunn who was fouled. And they're going to go 1.2. 1.2 on the clock. So they had a second, which is about right. 1.2 on the clock. (80-77). Marvin Williams-Dunn, of all people, can finish off the Mule Riders. He has not scored in the game. That's going to do it. That puts Ouachita up by 4 with 1.2 to play, and Ouachita is going to win on senior night. One more for extra points there. 82-77, our final. What a finish for the Ouachita Tigers to knock off Southern Arkansas. And so it is a senior night win for the Ouachita Tigers, and they'll end their regular season home slate with a victory. They do take on Arkansas Monticello Saturday. And you got the student section running over to Jacob Street, and several of the other guys, and Coach Dennis Nutt got in the middle of that as well. And what a cool moment. A really great moment for Jacob Street and for all the other guys for Ouachita. So we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll look over the final numbers, and we'll wrap up our final broadcast of the season. I can't believe it's here. Year 6 in the books. Back in a moment, you're watching Ouachita Basketball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Considering an online pharmacy? Explore BeSafeRx to find useful information and resources to help you purchase medicines safely online. A safe online pharmacy requires a doctor's prescription, has an address in the United States, has a licensed pharmacist, and is licensed by a state pharmacy board. It's best to stay away from online pharmacies that don't meet these criteria. Discover more helpful tips and resources at BeSafeRx. Go to fda.gov/BeSafeRx.
At the time, I just wasn't thinking. I used social media to vent. I wish I would have thought about the effects of scaring people. I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist threat. The university got shut down. I got arrested by the FBI. And now, I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day and look at the stuff. It's not going away. Think before you post.
Hey, man. Good. Go ahead. Here we go. Welcome back to Bill Vining Arena. Senior night has come to an end in the last game of the regular season at home. It's a Ouachita victory, 82-77 over Southern Arkansas University. Michael Westbrook here, and I'm joined by Lawrence Nero, the senior guard who transferred in a couple of years ago. But you're a local guy in the sense that you're from right down the road in Hot Springs. And Lawrence, first let me just congratulate you on a great career with Ouachita, and what a great game that you got to be a part of tonight.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have the game that I wanted to, but my teammates came through, and that's all that matters. We got the W. So.
Yeah. Talk about your time as a member of Ouachita. As we've been, it's been great to visit with all the seniors today. I wish we could visit with you guys more and talk about your time with this team and specifically about Jacob Street. I loved what you guys said about each other in the intros in between games.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting because when I first came in, I was I knew a couple of guys because, I'm from around the area.
Yeah.
But me and Jacob just, kind of bonded a little closer in the sense that, we just really got each other. We understood, how the game goes, how, life goes and stuff like that. So me and him got really close, and I'm glad we got to do this thing tonight together. Yep. Well, Jacob's about to join us as well. They got you on with that mic there? I guess so. No, we'll talk to you on the headset, I think, here in just a second. And I just want to ask you one more thing, Lawrence. So you come in from from a community college, and I want to just know what your experience was like at this Division II level with Ouachita. How would you sum up your career and just your experience here at Ouachita? Oh, at the community college level, JUCO level, there's there's still players, but then again, when you come to the Division II level, there's players everywhere. In JUCO, there's a couple of players that can play, but in Division II, it's high level all the time, and throughout the season, you can't take any breaks, so you're gonna fall down fast. So you gotta stay ahead of the game in all sorts of things. Yeah. What is your major, Lawrence? Computer science. Computer science. Okay. What are you hoping to do with that someday? Hopefully, want to start off and doing cybersecurity. Okay. A couple years of that, then go into software engineering. Awesome. That sounds great. Well, Jacob's here with us too, and you can stay on headset if you want, Lawrence, because I think this might go back and forth a little bit. First of all, Jacob, let's talk about the game. I got plenty to talk to you about, but 21 points. One of your best games. You played all 40 minutes. How you feeling out there right now?
I've never played 40 minutes in my college career, so I'm pretty tired. But, yeah, it was fun. It was fun when the end on at home. Yeah, absolutely. Take us back through your time at Ouachita, and there was a lot said about you in between during the senior ceremony. Obviously, you made an impact with the student body with the way they reacted to you tonight and what they've done. And take us back to your time as a member of the Ouachita basketball team. Yeah, every year it's just me and Renz are the only returners from our first year here. So we've been together the longest. We got a lot of new guys, but every single year we just grow together really close, even with all the new faces. And it's always fun to have my guys over there, the beta section we call it. So I wouldn't change anything. At first I thought I didn't know I was wearing a shirt. I thought I was in the wrong section. I don't know, but so who came up with the lines to say that you were the best at everything and you were the best at everything? Did y'all work on that together, or did somebody give that to y'all? We actually do competitions every single day. Okay. So we actually didn't even talk about it. Yeah. I actually win everything. He definitely does. Yeah. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. What's your major, Jacob? Finance, and I'm going to get my MBA next year. So. Okay, awesome. Yes, wow, yeah, awesome. Congratulations on that. Congratulations, guys, on a great career. I said to the seniors on the women's side that, this is my 6th year doing this, but I'm only here for the home games. My schedule's so crazy. I wish I could do the road games with you guys. That's kind of one of my biggest regrets, and maybe for the next guys we'll get to do that, get to keep up with y'all more often. But congratulations on a great career, and best of luck to you in the future. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yep. Thank you. All right, thank you, guys. Yes, sir. All right. Yep, there we go. I didn't know to go for the handshake or the headset first. I think Coach Nutt's probably going to join us as well. We'll wait and see if that happens or not. Hopefully he didn't forget. But we can look over those final numbers while we wait for Coach Nutt. We hope we get to talk to him on the final home game of the regular season. So Jacob finishes with 21 points. He had 4 from Davion Bankston, 17 from Alex Scariolo, and Tyler Haynes had 25. One of those nights where you had almost 3 players in double figures, and you got to go back to some of the the early days of Coach Nutt's career to see that, where you had guys where almost 3 players ended up with 20 points, and a great thing to see tonight for Ouachita. Kobe Dunlap had 9, Tavondrick Henry and Leon Kalinich, along with Marvin Williams-Dunn, also had 2. So for Southern Arkansas, 22 points from Blake Rogers, 20 points from Aaron Lucas, 14 apiece from Devontae Brooks and Jalen Brooks. So their guys had their big numbers tonight as well, but it came down to a couple of plays late in the contest, and Ouachita was able to make those plays for the 82-77 victory over Ouachita. Well, that's going to wrap up the 2021-2022 home season of Ouachita basketball. We appreciate all our fans tuning in throughout the entire year. For all of us on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network crew, I want to thank all the students for all of their hard work this year.
for Jeff Root and for Chris Babb and for all the guys that had to fill in this year for me as my schedule got a little bit hectic. Big special thanks to Brian Ramsey and Dr. Casey Model here as well, who have all their help throughout the year. And, of course, to Athletic Director David Sharp and to the rest of his staff. Thank you to each and every one of them for allowing us yet another year of Ouachita basketball here at home. Final score, Ouachita 82, Southern Arkansas 77. That's going to do it. I'm Michael Westbrook. Thanks for being with us from Bill Vining Arena. So long, everybody.